It's been, Nicole and I have been talking about this forever, and I actually think that the timing is perfect. God has really laid some stuff in my heart that I can tell is like what he wants me to say. And so I'm excited for the timing because, I mean, this has been a couple months in the making, hasn't it?
It really has. And for all of you, Rachael is an Emerald Ambassador. Her and I actually met at Jen Hawkins' house in Colorado when Jen lived in Denver. We both won a photo shoot and a makeover. And you know those people that you meet for a reason. Rachael is one of those for me. I mean, she has changed my mindset, and she's such an amazing leader, and she's been a fantastic sideline sister on this Plexus journey. So I wanted to have her pour into her. I mean, you guys will see her spirit, her passion. She is so lit up inside and out and on fire. And so I just can't wait for her to share with us tonight. So all yours, you can take it away.
Y'all are so sweet. Let me turn off Alexa really quickly. Alexa, stop. Okay, there we go. That thing. I had her playing Hillsong United. It is such a joy and an honor to chat with you guys. And I will give you a little bit about my background because I think it's quite relevant to what we're going to talk about tonight. And the topic for this evening is perspective and the bigger picture. And I feel like there comes a point in your life and your business where you see it and you just get it. And everyone gets it at different points in time, which as leaders is hard because you want everyone to get it when you have it. But everyone has their own journey, right? And so when I first started doing Plexus, I joined in April of 2014, and I was having really bad blood sugar problems. I had gained 3 dress sizes before since my wedding. So it had been, I think, 8 months since we got married, and I blew up like a balloon because I did what we all know as the prom diet. You just don't eat. You eat only vegetables, only meat, very little sugar, and 0 carbs. And as soon as you get married, you're like carb crazy, and you're just happy and married. And then you get a little heavy, you know? And what happened is on top of that, my blood sugar plummeted. And so I was exhausted all the time. Like I just couldn't get any energy. Shauna knows. She's witnessed. I mean, she's been a friend of mine forever. And she saw me, and I mean, I could just pass out at the table. And so I went to the doctor, and I asked her what was going on, mainly because of the weight loss and because what comes with the blood sugar as well as a lot of nausea and dizziness and vertigo. And I was just miserable. And she just said, you have to stop eating sugar. And I was a sugar addict. So when you tell a sugar addict to stop eating sugar, it's the same thing as like, hey, can you go learn how to fly a jet? Because they are equal to how I felt. Like I couldn't imagine not eating sugar. And I sure as heck can't imagine flying a jet. So it was one of those things where it's like, it didn't matter what she said. It was just, you have to stop eating sugar. And so I tried to give up sugar for Lent. And then my friend posted about Plexus on Facebook, which is why we all have to keep posting about Plexus on Facebook. And I asked her about it. And within 3-day trial, which is why we keep sharing the trials, I felt a difference. I felt a significant difference just in the dizziness. And that was huge. And then after, I guess it was the first 3 months I lost a dress size and I realized that this was legit. And after 4 months, y'all, of doing Plexus, I quit my corporate career. I have 10 plus years to do Plexus full time. And I was just in, but I was in for selling the products. And I'll tell you more about that. I wasn't in for building a business. I wasn't in for being a leader. I had no interest in that. I just wanted to make bank on selling products. I've done sales for years. Selling a product is easy. Leadership in a sales organization, unless you're like the boss, you don't have to worry about leadership. You have your own business, your own quota, and you get it done, right? And so I went to Leaders Retreat after, 4 months of joining, I guess April, May, June, July, August. So 6 months of joining. And at this point now I dropped another dress size. So I was really bought in. And I'm there, and I'm that girl that like somebody probably should have just pushed me over and been like, go away. I was like, so why do you guys build a team? Why don't you just sell products? I mean, I make $2,000 a month selling products. And so-and-so's like, well, I make 10. And so-and-so's like, well, I make 20. And then so-and-so's like, Celeste, that one that like you adore, that you touch all the time, she makes $40,000 a month, Rachael. And I'm like, I'm sorry, what? And then I started to think, how much product would I have to sell to make that kind of money? It doesn't work out that way. And then on top of that, because I was selling product, I was always on the phone with customer service because I'm basically doing product sales. And it was like God hit me with a thunderbolt of lightning. And he said to me very clearly, How dare you not share this opportunity? You're going to be the one paying off your debt. You're going to be the one making money, and you should share this. It's wrong not to share it. And I came back from Leaders Retreat, which was October, I don't know, like mid to late October. And I had 4 people when I went to Leaders Retreat, and I went gold New Year's Eve of that year, 2014. So if you want it, if you have that desire, when you catch the vision, nothing, Shane's dancing in the background, nothing in the world can stand in your way. And so that's what I'm going to talk to you guys about right now, because I think if you can really grasp the bigger picture, if you can grasp the perspective of what we're doing, you will be unstoppable. You will be unstoppable, and it won't matter what anyone says to you. It won't matter what obstacles come your way. It won't matter who leaves your team. It won't matter if you have a runner. It doesn't matter to me. I love having runners, but I also believe in personal recruitment. I've added 10 level 1s in the past 6 weeks, and Shauna's one of those. Shauna's my Christmas present, or my New Year's present, really, because I have to recruit. I can't ask my team to recruit if I'm not willing to recruit. It's not fair. It's not right. And the speed of the leader is the speed of the team. Okay. So I had to overcome this obstacle of, I don't want to lead. I don't want to be responsible, because my purpose is bigger than my comfort zone. My purpose is to share these products and change lives and share this business, because I know there are people that need both. But I'm a very business focused person. And so I'm going to talk specifically tonight about the business, because we know the products are amazing. You know, I'm sure Nicole has people doing product training. So I'm going to talk really with you guys about the business. Okay, so there's this quote, and Nicole, you're going to have to keep me on time because I am a rambler.
Absolutely.
How much time do I have? 5 minutes.
Yeah, you're 5 minutes left. No, it doesn't pop up until there's like 10, so I will let you know. I'll do this.
Oh my God, okay. Pressure, because on mine we don't have a time limit. We just have a people limit. Okay, so there's a quote that has really just been sticking in my heart, and it is, do today what others won't, so you can have tomorrow what others don't. And I feel like we hear this and we're like, okay, well, what does that mean? Like, what do I need to do today? And what does that look like? That's like the people that you see in Plexus that are diamonds that are building their houses. Those are the people that you see that are quitting their jobs to be able to do Plexus full time because they just had a baby, or they want to travel, or they want to retire their husbands, or there's health issues in their family and they want to be able to take care of their kids better. I mean, any scenario that you can think of that people are restricted in their life, and you see people, I know y'all see these testimonials, right? Like, can I get some hands, some hollahs? Y'all have seen these lives change through Plexus, and a lot of it is financial. And if you think about doing today what others won't so you can have tomorrow what others don't, that's what I'm talking about, you guys. I had to get out of my comfort zone, be able to work from home. I mean, yes, I love working my yoga pants, and do today what others won't. There are people that will never quit their jobs. They will sit in their cube 9 to 5. I was in a cube. My plants died. I would come home crying like, I'm going to die. My plants are dying. I mean, if a plant can't survive, how can a human? You know? And it was awful. But I'd had enough. I just had enough. And I knew that this was what I was going to do. So just keep saying that to yourself. If you're in a place where you're like stressed out or flustered, just remember, I'm doing today what others are not willing to do, so that I can have what others will never, ever have. You know, that dream house, that dream car, that dream life. Okay, so there's 3 main things I want you guys to keep in mind. Number 1, perspective. All right, y'all, the time is going to pass anyway. Literally, like, next year is going to happen, right? So you have to visualize yourself a year from now. Where do I want to be? Do I want to be a gold ambassador? Am I a gold ambassador now? And do I want to still be a gold ambassador making, what's gold, like $1,000 a month, $500 to $1,000 a month, I think? Or do I have bigger dreams? Do I want to be on stage at convention as an emerald, sapphire, or diamond? Do I want to be making a bigger income? You know what I mean? Like, dream, like, just think bigger picture, because the time is going to pass. So I say, put down that remote, get on your computer or your phone and get on Facebook and start making relationships and messaging people and doing your IPA. And if y'all ever need help with IPA, Nicole is the queen of IPA. She's really, really, really good at what she does. And I know that this girl knows how to work. So if you follow Nicole, you will go to the top, okay? But if you're watching TV, if you're mulling around, if you're at the spa, if you're at lunch with friends, that's great. But if you committed to a year of just working, of what I did is we had no money. We had tons of debt. And so to go to Leaders Retreat, we couldn't afford a $400 plane ticket. So I sold my clothes. I earned the trip and I sold my clothes. And then for spending money, I used the rest of those clothes money. We just didn't have it. It wasn't like Shane was being restrictive. It was, we didn't have it. And so you have to be able to sacrifice out of that zone. So what happened in my first year is I stopped getting my nails done, and I'm like a girly girl. Stop, my nails aren't done, right? Because I'm waiting to get my Friday paycheck this Friday. You know what I mean? Still, I make sacrifices. But I didn't get my nails done. I didn't get my hair done. We didn't go out to eat. When friends would invite me to dinner, I'd say, hey, let's meet at the house and hang out. I'll cook something, or let's go Dutch on cooking. You know what I mean? Because I wanted to put all of my money back into my business. Because that was my priority, because I have today what others don't, right? I'm an ambassador. I went to Hawaii. I drive a Lexus. You know, we're paying off debt, but it's 2.5 years later. I mean, I worked really hard. Okay. So essentially you can work a 9 to 5 and grind for someone else, negotiating between, I want this much time off for summer, or I want this much time off for Christmas vacation, but I can't do this for summer because I took this off for Christmas, right? You can grind for someone else's schedule. You can have to ask for time off. You can have to, basically make money for another company. Or you can do your Plexus business and you can find out what residual income is really about and feel that freedom. You guys, even if you work 1 to 3 hours a day on Plexus, like Shauna and I are talking about her schedule. She works full time. She has a family. How's she going to make this work? She wants to be Emerald within a year. She's worked on Emerald Fast Track. She's also working on Fast Track Gold. How does that work if she only has an hour a day? It works. It absolutely is possible. I work more than an hour a day on Plexus. And some days not at all. You know what I mean? Like not as much. But even committing yourself an hour to 3 hours a day will bring big results, but you have to see it in the long term of next year. We're on a 90-day cycle. Everything you do this month and the month after and next month, you're going to see in the next 30, 60, 90 days. So, for example, if you're really busy right now in December, that's because you worked really hard 3 months ago. And congratulations, because this is the time. We have the Trim Up Challenge. This is the season where everyone wants to get healthy. This is the time to be in Plexus. Okay, if you took those 3 months off, I think you're probably feeling it now and like, hey, how come other people are adding people to their team? How come I'm not in momentum? How come I'm not growing? Probably because you didn't work as hard as you needed to 3 months ago, truthfully. You know what I'm saying? So remember that we're on a 90-day cycle and you're looking at a year out from now where you want to be. This is bigger picture, okay? I can talk to you guys about next month and all that, but I'm here to talk to you about the bigger picture. Okay, so I had a girl on my team that said to me, I don't know if this Plexus thing is for me. I might just get a part-time job and, just kind of not do Plexus. And I said to her, well, you're going to work anyways. If you're at a part-time job, you're working anyways, right? It's not like you're not working. So why not do Plexus in that time that you would be working that part-time job and see it as a job? And it's like light bulbs, because it's like, oh yeah, I'm going to work anyways. Why not do Plexus as my job? In your yoga pants, in your living room, picking up your kids up from soccer practice, going to the movies with your husband, whatever you want to do, cooking dinner for your family, all the things you haven't been able to do without having to go to an office and go 9 to 5. I mean, it blows my mind, but sometimes it's about perspective, right? Okay, number 2. If you can't visualize yourself a year from now where you want to be as an Emerald, because I believe every single person on this call could be Emerald within a year. I 100% believe it. I don't know what levels you guys are all at. I know that I've got 2 newbies on here that I absolutely plan to help to get to Emerald 100% within a year. But let's say it took 2 years, that's fine too. But if you can't visualize yourself, you're not dreaming big enough. Y'all, God made us for greatness, right? Like, be great. You know what I mean? If you're put on this earth for greatness, like we're called to greatness by the Lord. It's not a Rach thing. It's not a Nicole thing. It's not an upline Plexus thing. It's be great. And so imagine yourself doing big, great things in Plexus. Pray around it. If y'all have never read The Circle Maker, get it, read it, and pray circles around your business and your team, because, oh my goodness, it's one of the best books ever. Okay, So do y'all ever hear people say like, that's not really in my comfort zone? You know, I don't know. I don't feel comfortable doing that. I think I'm just going to do it this way. I don't really want to post on Facebook, and, you know, I don't really want to cold message people. You know what I mean? Okay. Well, I've heard it a lot, and truth be told, I believe that a comfort zone is just a no-go zone. I don't think you're that comfortable. I think you're just not doing it. And so when you say to yourself, that's not in my comfort zone, the truth is that it's not worth it to you to try it. It's not worth it to you to be uncomfortable. And I mean, I get it. Some people don't want to post on social media. Some people say, oh, well, I'm not really good at sales. Okay, well, we have introverts, extroverts. I wouldn't say, Nicole would say, oh, I'm a salesperson. You know what I mean? I can, because I have done that. But like, everyone on my team isn't like me. That would be really boring. That would be, and chaotic. You know what I mean? Like, if you had a bunch of blue reds running around that had 10 years of sales experience just bumping around, that'd be bad. We need balance. We need people like you that don't want to be in sales. But even if Nicole said to you, I want you to go post something that sounds salesy. I want you to message someone something that sounds salesy. If you're looking at the bigger picture, you're like, okay, because I have a big dream. I have big goals, and nothing's going to stand in my way, right? So try not to say to yourself, that's my comfort zone. What you have to say to yourself instead is, I'm not really willing to do that. It's the same thing when people say to you, oh, I can't really afford Plexus. No, they're choosing not to make that a priority. And so that's not even your problem. I can get in a whole nother thing on that. I don't push people at all. Like, if they don't think it's a priority, I'm not going to convince you it's a priority. When you feel like it's a priority, I'll be here. You know what I mean? We are not in the business of convincing people. That's a call for another day. So I would say, think about this. You don't want to post on Facebook. You don't really want to cold message people. Okay, so it's kind of uncomfortable. But isn't it more painful to be in debt? Isn't it more painful to struggle financially or not have the time freedom that you want? Or if you want to be a stay-at-home mom, not to be able to stay home with your kids and your babies? I'm pretty sure, I don't have kids yet, but, you know, we're praying for it. I'm pretty sure, Ashley, I love you, that it hurts a lot worse to have to go through those things than it does to post on Facebook. And so my example of the suffering is that leadership is not a natural thing for me. I mean, I work hard on it, and I fail all the time. And anyone that says that they've got it down right, I mean, awesome. I don't believe you. I don't think anyone's got it down perfectly, but we are willing to fail forward. There's a book called Failing Forward. Literally, that's another book. Read it. I'm willing to fail forward because the discomfort of the debt was way more uncomfortable than figuring out how to lead. And I mean, y'all, what did they say about network marketing? It's personal growth with a compensation plan. This is a sanctifying process, isn't it? I mean, this is the very intense like road of personal growth. I mean, Jen Hawkins, she reads book after book after book. She doesn't even listen to music in the car. She always has a book on. Tried to do that, but like, I mean, she's on another level, amazing. And so the discomfort, though, of having all those things was bigger. And so I was like, all right, I'll try and learn how to grow a team. I'll go gold. Okay, I need to add 11 level ones. Okay, I'll do it. You know what I mean? You just do it. So I just want you to put that in perspective of like, what's more painful, you know? And then the payoff is that you get to change lives. You get to have freedom. You make a 6-figure income. And it's worth every second of discomfort. I mean, it really is fun to be a Plexus Emerald. They really do spoil us rotten. Hawaii is legitimately the coolest trip I've ever been on. And I've been very fortunate to go on trips in my life, but never like a 5-star resort, first class tickets. When you get there, there's gifts in your room every day. For Christmas, they send you Alexa, who is my new best friend. You know what I mean? Like, it is really a wonderful feeling to go up on stage and be honored. But when you're succeeding in your business, if you're an Emerald, that means that people on your team are succeeding. That means that people on your team are growing, because you can't get to Emerald by yourself. You can't get to, I mean, past gold is really hard. I think you can get to gold on your own. But predominantly you're going to have a team underneath you to get to senior gold and above. So also when you're going emerald and when you're going out of these comfort zones and when you're doing this, just know you're impacting lives that you're bringing into the business, and you're impacting your team's life as well, because they're seeing what you do and they're going to follow you. So remember that as well. Okay. So the third thing is, and I've kind of touched on this, is that it really is all worth it. It's worth the hard work, and it is a grind. I'm not going to sugarcoat it and say, I think it's an easy grind because I've done lots of jobs. It's the easiest grind I've ever done in terms of like when I do my IPA, when I do my work, when I bring people in, when I help train them. It's way easier than anything else I've ever done. However, it's still work. But if you're making $10,000 a month, or let's say, I'll give you an average, like 9 to 15 a month is emerald. Because then once you get the high end of emerald, you're getting towards sapphire, right? I mean, of course you're going to have to work hard. What in the world is going to pay you that much money for not working hard? Maybe like Vegas, I don't know, or other things that we don't want to mention. But for legitimate legal work to make that much money a month, that makes sometimes feel like they're gangsters. You know, Celeste always says gangsta money because, I mean, she makes an inordinate amount of money a month. You know what I'm saying? Like, of course it's going to be hard work, but it's purposeful work. It's joyful work. It's life-changing work. And even if it took you 2 to 5 years to reach emerald, is it worth it, you guys? I mean, is it worth it? Of course it's worth it. You know, and then in diamond, what if you reach diamond in 2 to 5 years? I believe that in 2017, I'll be a diamond. I started in April of 2014. There are people that have gone way faster than me, like way, way, way faster, and are still surpassing me. There are people that went emerald at the same time as me and will be sapphire before me. I mean, whatever, that's their journey. You know, I'm not going to be affected by it. But if you stay the course and you don't quit ever, even if it takes 5-10 years, you'll be a plexus diamond. It's like a statistic that is in network marketing. Like, the only people that don't make it to the top are the ones that quit. Isn't that cool? Like, no matter what, you'll be a diamond. You just determine the speed on how many hours you want to work a day and how much work you want to put into it and how much effort you want to put into it. I mean, I think that that's really cool. So that's the gist of it. So the 3 things are basically, you know, perspective. Time's going to pass anyways. Number 2, you aren't dreaming big enough. Remember, you're made for greatness. You know, if you're not kind of getting out of your comfort zone. And then it's all worth it.
Sorry, Rachel, I was muted. That is amazing. I think what you said when you first started, the timing of this couldn't be better, because I think of starting out the new year. And I watched one of your videos before where you talked about not new year, new you, but new year, better you. And I really like that concept, because I think that's, you don't want to have a new you because you're great the way that you are. But I think all of this about dreaming big and the perspective, I think that it puts a lot of things into a perception, because I think that, you know, you're right when you talk about the 90-day rule, because I think that we all, you know, the work that we are planting right now, we want to see it happen quicker and sooner. But looking at the big picture, that's what it's all about. It's about planting those seeds and waiting. And, you know, and you think about each of our own stories. I don't know how long you watched, but I watched Jen Hawkins for over a year before I said I was ready. So I think that helps a lot when you're reaching out to people and, you know, you're just kind of waiting until they're ready.
I'm trying to find the quote that she told me. Okay, here's a quote. Don't judge each day by the harvest you reap, but by the seeds you plant.
I love that.
That's it. I mean,
I think it's so true and relates, you know, huge into this business. I think, you know, for you, when you say, you know, it's super hard work, you know, I agree, but it's also, it's so fun, because it doesn't even feel like work when it's that fun. But in a day in the life of Rachael Wagner, what is you wake up, you have your day, or however much time you're going to commit to that day. What does that look like for you?
I don't know. I mean, I woke up this morning at like 9 and my phone blew up. I wasn't even intending on having these 3 phone calls that I have, but one of them was my power partner, Kristen, who I adore, because we have kind of like a Hawaii Hustlers group, which you know about, that for our teams. And once someone adds Lindsay, once you add 3 people in 1 month, you're in, and Shauna. And so we were game planning on that. And then I had a friend that does Plexus reach out to me and just ask for IPA ideas. So I just told her about the stuff on the team page. So sometimes I'm just reactive. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. But on days where I'm like focused and planning, I'm just doing my IPA. I mean, I'm literally getting on my phone and I'm reaching out to the people that I've been wanting to talk to Plexus about. I have kind of like a follow-up method that I created that I'm happy to share with you. And essentially, if I talk to someone like in Facebook Messenger, I take a screenshot of our conversation, and then I created an album on Facebook that only I can see, because you can set that to where only you can see it. And so it's called Plexus Leads Follow-Ups.
That's great.
And so anytime I talk to someone or I'm messaging with someone, it doesn't even mean it's about Plexus. I'm like, but I want to eventually bring up Plexus maybe. I put them in there. So then when I go to do my IPA, I go into my folder and I say, oh, okay, I still need to get, this person on my team. All right, I added this person. Who's my most recent ad? Hairdresser. Trying so hard to get her. But she tried a sample and she's kind of, whatever with it. And so I'm just letting her write it out because I'm going to see her on Friday. And so I'm going to bring it up again. But I just keep it in this, and then I have kind of a goal with it. And my goal, basically, I put the goal at the top, and it says, these are my current prospects goal. Move 5 people over a month, and then keep this album at 100 fresh leads.
That is genius. It's brilliant.
So that means that then they're either going to be customers or ambassadors. But if they're ambassadors, like wholesale ambassadors, they go into my Plexus customer follow-ups, because my working ambassadors are active on my team page, so I don't have to worry about where to find them. Mm-hmm. Because what happens is once you recruit a lot of people, you're like, where did everybody go? Sean and Lindsay are on here, but I've recruited 8 other people. Where are they? Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? So you got to be able to figure out where your people are. So my wholesale customers go in there, and then everyone goes on the team page. You guys, everyone should go on your team page, even if they're wholesale, because they could change their mind.
Do you have and I'll let you open up questions. This will be my last one. I don't want to take all the time. But do you have attrition in network marketing it's going to happen. And it's kind of what you said. You can't convince people. They have to have that unshakable belief about the products, about network marketing. Do you have a certain amount of effort that you put into those people that have gone white line, that you want to continue dripping on them and hopefully to see them come back?
If a level 1,
mm-hmm.
Sure. This 60-day trim up is fantastic, isn't it? We have the perfect reason to reach out to people. The free shipping code is a fantastic reason. So right now, my focus is to get every single person on my team back aboard or back on and set for the 1st to the 16th to get their shipping code. And then my goal is to really point to them and say, hey, let's run together and do this 60-day trim up. I feel like sometimes we have to get creative of coming up with things, but I feel like right now Plexus has just given us something on a silver platter. Mm-hmm. And so we should all be seeing white lines go active. If you're reaching out to, I've recruited probably 140 level 1s, I think. Maybe 150 now. I don't know. I have to look. And, I do have a goal of how many people I want to bring back, of course, but I think it's more about reestablishing that relationship. And I will message people and say, hey, I think I fell short. I'm not sure that I gave you everything that you needed, and I'm so sorry. Can we give it another shot and do this trim up thing together? I haven't been perfect with my products either, because I haven't at all, especially because my husband keeps putting them away. And so I just forget. I know I want to take my X Factor every day, but if I don't see it in the kitchen when I make my shake, I just forget. Mm-hmm. And so it's not his fault. I need to pull it out of the cupboard, but I'm just saying. So just be, it's okay. It's okay. Just be humble. Just be humble with people and message them and just say,
Hi, Shane.
Hi, Shane. I'd really like to do this again with you, and I'm sorry if I didn't give you everything that you needed. I've learned a lot in these past couple months, and I'd love to just do this with you, even if you gave them your heart and soul.
Right.
Even if that you believe that you did everything in the world that you could, because I know how you are and I am, we will give our heart and soul to our level 1s. Even if it's still good to be I still feel like I could have done more for you, you know?
Right. Absolutely. I'll stop taking the questions. I'll let you open it up for Q&A.
Oh, Q&A. Anyone have questions? And I might not know the answer, and I'm okay with that. And I'll let y'all know I don't know because I don't know a lot. Anyone?
Anybody have any questions for Rachael?
Ashley, you don't have anything?
Oh,
you're muted.
Sorry, yeah, no, that was good. Okay, so I am like enthralled by this follow-up system that you're using. That's genius because I'm such a visual person, and so I love being able to just scroll through the pictures. So when you go from your album of leads, you said you have another album of like your wholesale, not necessarily your runners or builders, but just your wholesale customers or customers.
They're the people that I need to follow up with and see how their products are going.
So you have two albums that you have set up in Facebook. Okay. I love that.
Yeah. And I need to be converting. If I'm not converting, I'm not doing it right.
Yeah.
You know, I actually need to go through and see who joined, you know, because I know I don't know who was in there. I got to look and see, but I've had some people join that are moved over, and I've got some people that I want to get a little more like intentional with, but my messages to people are not about Plexus. Just so y'all know. And now if it's someone that I've been talking to about like ordering this, I'm like, hey girl, you ready? Like that's for sure. But if we haven't even gotten to the place where we're talking about them ordering our products, it's not about Plexus. It's like, hey, how are you? I love that picture. Or random people, like influential people, I'm messaging them saying, you are so inspiring. I adore your pictures. It's so much fun being your Facebook friend. You know what I mean? Expand your audience, be in groups that associate with you, that you're associated with. Like, I don't know, I just got an Instapot, so now I'm in this Instapot community. So maybe I'll make a friend or two. That was an adventure. It didn't turn out great. You know, like always be expanding your network. Like Shauna, like she's going to expand her network in Trophy because she just moved there. So she doesn't know a lot of people. So this is perfect. And she's not going to talk about Plexus off the bat. She's going to make relationships. And you know what? If you're posting your 3 times a day, people are going to ask you about it.
Okay, can I ask you another question?
Sure.
This is more kind of about leading because, you know, I think I have a lot of people sometimes that I see such leadership potential in them. But, you know, I think maybe as women, I don't know, because you were saying it was that jump from seeing yourself as a leader. It is a jump. You know, it's definitely a different mindset for a lot of people. Do you have, I mean, other than just encouraging that person, is there something that you do to just kind of help people see themselves as leaders or to gently push them or whatever, just to kind of start leading their team and taking off? Do you have any, because I feel like I have a lot of people kind of stuck in that place. Like a lot of people on my team have gotten to gold on their own, but like you were saying, I mean, I think you can really, really push really hard and get to senior gold on your own, maybe, but beyond that, you just can't. I mean, it's like you've got to see yourself as a leader and teach other people to do the same. So I just didn't know if you had any tips for what's worked well with you to kind of help people embrace that part of this whole journey, because it's a huge thing.
I think the key is identifying who wants it, because it doesn't matter if you think that they're going to be the best leaders ever. You can tell them that, but like if they don't want it, it's a moot point. So my first thing is I really want to know people's whys. Like, why are you doing this? What's your motivation? Like, I've got a girl on my team who she is working so hard to be able to, she just had a baby, to stay at home with her baby. Her why is like full force. You know what I mean? So I don't have to tell her anything about, you know, what she does in terms of like, you need to build your business. She knows that. Like her why is strong. But leadership, I mean, it's really, you've got to have someone that wants it. And when they want it, it's nothing that I can do. They have to go seek out the knowledge. Like I could never educate someone on leadership like John Maxwell can. But I can do a book club with the people that are hungry for leadership. But like, I'm
going to play 2 minutes. Sorry, I just want to go.
I'm not going to take that role of like, I'm going to educate you like John Maxwell does. I'm going to say, hey, let's do a book club. Who's interested in this and who wants to grow in their leadership? You know what I mean? Does that help?
Yeah, that helps. I think too, it's from the beginning. Now I just try to, from the beginning, talk about leadership. You know, the minute someone says, I want this business, it's like, just incorporating that from the get-go. I think that's where maybe I've kind of gone a little, it's kind of hard sometimes to pull people back in after it's like, okay, no, what I have to reverse and like start developing my leadership skills. I don't know. It's just kind of a change in mindset, I think. So just curious. But that makes sense.
I would identify them and then lead them to the tools.
Yeah.
Don't make it your responsibility. Do coaching calls and help them. But like all my coaching calls are basically like, where are you at? How are you? What obstacles do you need to overcome? How do you see yourself? Like, what do you see coming up that could be in your way from reaching your goals? What is your goal? It's not like, you're a leader now. These are the 21 steps to follow. No, I mean, there's John Maxwell, Eric Worre, Sarah Robbins. Like, I could never do what they do. Mm-hmm. But I can help lead a book club and cheer them into coming every week.
Rachel, I just wanted to tell you we have less than 1 minute, but if anybody wants to pop back on for more Q&A, I'm happy to redo the call again. Or,
Yeah, that's fine. That's fine. I can do another like 10, 15 minutes. That's no problem.
Perfect. We do it.
Sure. Fine.
That's perfect. For all of you guys that aren't going to join us on the next, we're going to pop back on. Thank you so much, Rachel. But we would love if you guys have any more questions, join us back on. I'm going to start this again in about 30 seconds.
Okay. So am I hopping off?
Yes.
Okay. So I'll see you in 30 seconds?
Yep, 30 seconds.
Okay.